Hello there! Welcome back to my channel. I'm Gerard Luat, owner and witch of Earth's Curious Goods, and today I'm going to show you how to do an instant money rice spell. So for all of you that just need that little fast cash or just get a little bit more prosperity, keep watching. And like always, if you like today's video, like it, and don't forget to subscribe so you can get up to date on anything that I post weekly. Alright, let's begin. Alrighty, so what we have here, we're going to need some ingredients. So you're going to need some rice. Any rice will do, just from your grocery store, long grain rice, jasmine rice, whatever you so choose. I would choose, make sure that make sure the rice is white though, so that way when you color it, it'll be, green, which is what we want. We want to make green rice. For the coloring, I'm going to use Alpine Green Mica powder, just because it's more natural. It's made by Nurture Soap, is where I got it from. It's vegan, it's cruelty free, it's kind of skin safe. So this is what I'm using to color it, and I'll put a link down below if you guys do want to get it as well. You can also just use food coloring, any standard food coloring from the store. You can use that as well. And you're going to need some alcohol to help this bind to the rice to color it. And yes, so you'll also need some elderflowers for herbs. Goldenrod is what I'm going to be using. Some galanga root, some patchouli. Patchouli is well known for drawing money. Some cinnamon, some whole cloves, some mint from my garden, some bay leaves. You're also going to need a green candle. If you don't have a green candle handy, I would recommend at least a white candle, and then put the intentions of green into it. I'm going to anoint the candle with some frankincense oil. It's very known for protection and purification, and it's a great anointing oil. I'm going to also anoint it with some Libra oil, and because I am the sign of Libra, so I also want this to be a little bit more personal for me. You're going to need a denomination of a bill. It could be $1, $5, $100. A lot of people will, think that the denomination is super important, but you got to remember that in magic, money is still money in all different forms. It's all about your intention and making the magic your own. So I'm going to be using a dollar bill, a sachet, because you can also put the rice inside of this and put it, around the house, in the car, in the office. It's so handy with the spell. I would have something sharp, like a pen or like a pen that you're not going to use anymore. This is a pen that I just don't use, and a Sharpie or a marker of some sort. Permanent marker is what I would recommend. That's always the best marker to use, especially in witchcraft. Permanent, because you want it to stay, not temporary. Okay, and if you don't have any of these herbs, do not worry, do not stress about it. These are just the herbs that I would recommend and that I'm going to personally use. I am actually doing this spell for myself. But if you don't have all the herbs, that is fine. I will link down below where you could get some of these herbs if you're not sure where to get it from, to help you out as much as I can. And if you're not familiar with herbology or green witchcraft, I would highly recommend this book, and it is called The Encyclopedia of Magical Herbs by Scott Cunningham. This one is the expanded and revised edition, and this comes in handy if you're anything like me, where I am not memorizing every herb in this world. Now, if it's a herb that I use a lot, like bay leaf, mint, lavender, and cinnamon, chamomile, I always try to remember those properties because I use them so often, and I have memory where if I do it repetitively, it sticks with me. But if it's here and there, like goldenrod, I bring out every so often, or elderflowers, galanga. Hopefully I'm saying that right, galanga. It almost sounds like the video game Galanga. Has anyone else play that game? Oh, comment down below if you've ever heard of that game. It's called Galaga. Galaga, I think, is the video game. But yeah, comment down below if you've ever played that game, or if that makes sense. But yeah, so highly recommend that book, especially if you're just starting out. If you don't know anything about the herbs or you want to learn about it, I would recommend Scott Cunningham's book. It's such a wealth of knowledge, and it's just about the herbs and the properties. It has a little bit of, pictures in there. Let me see. Yeah, so you can kind of get a feel of what some of the herbs in their native form looks like before they're dried or sifted or cut. So it comes in handy. I do have my mortar and pestle handy as well, so I can grind up some of these herbs, and a heat-proof dish so that I can put the candle on, and so that way it's actually safe. Obviously, I have a lighter to light all this stuff. So yes, so I'll bring you back, get you guys a little bit closer so you can kind of see what I'm doing, and yes. All right, so now welcome back. Okay, so now what I'm going to start to do is let's begin with coloring the rice. In here I have some 91% alcohol I picked up at my local Walmart. You can get it in at any drugstore. But yeah, I put it in a spray bottle to make it a little bit easier. You don't really need to. I'm using alcohol because it evaporates. You can use water, especially with food coloring. You know, you could just use food coloring and then you just mix it all in. But I'm going to use alcohol so that there's no moisture left over, because you don't want this to get all moldy and stuff. So like I said, this will help the actual mica powder bind with the rice a lot easier. It's gonna really go with it together. Okay, so all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just open this up. Or almost gave me a hard time there. Okay, and what I'll do is I'll spritz it. Just, you know, quite liberally, I hope I say that right. And I'm just gonna put a little bit inside, and I'm gonna sprinkle it around, and then I'm gonna mix it in. And that might be enough, to be honest with you, but you know, just to your comfort level until it's colored to how you want it. It's your magic, so make it your own. But yeah, I'm going to really mix it around. As you can tell, you see how it is changing color. And what you could do with food coloring, if you're using food coloring, I would highly recommend you to let it dry out. Let it dry out in the sun, especially. That's going to be really good because it'll charge it with the sun's rays, and that's good energy, and sun's very golden, and it'll help amplify your spell, if anything. And here, with alcohol, it actually evaporates really good, so I don't have to actually wait it for dry. Now you can put it on some wax paper or a paper towel, and then also put that out in the sun if you still want to do that, and that'll just dry it up even more. Oh yeah, see, that is so pretty. How it's just green. I'm gonna put a little bit more though, just because I want to. That was probably good enough, but I just want it to be a little bit greener. And I love this mica powder because it has like a tint of, like, it's kind of shiny gold with it, so that's really nice. And mica is a little bit more natural in coloring, so I just prefer it. And once again, I did spray it with alcohol. I'm gonna spray it a little bit more, make sure that let's really bind it in. What you could do too, I could have just put a lid on this and then shake it up. That probably would have been a lot easier. But for me, I don't know. I just feel like using a spoon I don't use anymore. As you can tell, it's all bent up. I purposely bent this, by the way. That way I know that, like, ooh, you don't use that to eat. It's just used for magic or mixing things, and like this. There we go. So we got it all mixed up. Nice and neat. That is really good for me. So that's nice and green. Alright, I'm going to put the lid back on this. Alright, so now we're going to do the herbs. And with the herbs, I'm going to add a little bit of galangal root to my pesto. I'm going to do about 3 pinches should do it. Do it in groups of 3. 3 has always been a very magical number in witchcraft, and I've always stayed to that. 3 pinches of goldenrod. And once again, these all are great success herbs. They draw money, some of them with luck. They also protection, because you don't want anything interfering with the spell. These are elderflowers, so I'm putting 3 pinches of that inside of it. Okay, and I'm gonna put 3 pinches of patchouli in here. Patchouli is well known for money and success, so that's awesome. I'm gonna put some 3 pinches of dried mint leaves from my garden. And then the next part though, with the bay leaves, what I would do is, hopefully you can see that, there we go. I'm gonna write the word money on it because I want money to come to me, okay? So I'm putting 3 of them in there and I'm writing money on it. What you could do too, if you want, you can write the word money on it and then burn it and then put the ashes of the bay leaves inside of it. But I'm just going to put it inside of my mortar and pestle and then I'm just gonna, just crunch it all up. Now next I'm gonna put a little bit of cinnamon, 3 dashes of cinnamon, 1, 2, and 3. I'm gonna put some cloves. Cloves are also known for money. I'm gonna put 3 cloves inside of there. If I can get it out of here, jeez. 1, 2, and 3. Cloves always smells good. It always reminds me of Thanksgiving. I don't know if that makes sense to anybody else, but Thanksgiving or like a turkey or something, or ham or cloves. But comment down below if that makes sense as well. If you've ever like smelled cloves or cinnamon, it just reminds you of food of during the holidays though, because that's what that reminds me of. Okay, and then I'm just going to take my mortar and pestle and I am going to crunch up everything and mix it up really good. So that you guys don't have to watch all this, I'll bring you back when this is all done. Okay, now that I've grinded that up, as best I can, I did grind it all up, and now I'm just going to add it to my rice. And then I'm just going to mix that around. Give it a little bit of oomph to it. And you can do this, before you put it out into the sun, or it doesn't matter if you already put the rice out and it's dry and now you want to add the herbs to it, that's fine as well. As you can tell, because I used alcohol, it has evaporated and it's not all like damp and gooey. And there we are. So that's the finished product for your money rice. Good herbs, bay leaves, it's got the patchouli, the galangal root, and the green rice. So what you could do is, like what I'm going to do, is a sachet, and you're going to want to put intention into this. So almost forgot about that part. You want to put your intention to it, good energy. So I'm going to go ahead and do that off camera, and then I'll bring you back. So we're back. All right, so I put intention into the actual rice, and now what you could do is, if you have a sachet, you can put some inside your sachet. Oh, that'll probably be messy, so let's just do that by hand. So I'm gonna put this, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this, I'm actually going to hang this by my door because I want money to come towards me, come into my household, and as I leave and as I come back home, I would like money to be drawn to me. Then here we are. What we're going to do is you're going to take your dollar bill, and that needs to be in front of you. That helps with your visualization. And then you're going to need a green candle. You can use a white candle if you want. You can use a votive candle, that's fine as well, but it just needs to be a candle, of course. But green is what I would recommend, the color of money, success. I would highly recommend that, very earthy energies. And in the candle, you're going to want to inscribe on it. And you want to do it with your intentions, but with mine, if you want to follow mine, that's fine too. I'm going to carve into it a money symbol. So for me, that's a good representation for money. Okay, and on the other side, I am going to write my name, my first and last name, because I want it to come to me. Now, if it's for somebody else, obviously you want to put their name in it, and say it's for a business, then you want to put the business's name on there. But I want this to flow to me. You know, just for a little bit of extra cash. Woohoo! Everyone can use that. Okay, so I've got the money symbol on one side, and I've got my first and last name on the other side. Now I'm going to anoint it. I'm going to use some frankincense oil. Put some on my power hand, which is the hand I write with. And I want it to come to me, so I'm going to start to the bottom of the candle, and I'm going to work my way up. Okay? All the way up to the wick. A bit more. Start from the bottom and work my way all the way up to the wick. All right, so then for me, what I'm going to do, because I am under the sign of Libra, I'm going to personalize this with some Libra oil. And this contains herbs that is also aligns with the sign of Libra, which is me. So I'm just gonna make it a little bit more personal to me. Obviously, if it's for someone else, you can, you know, get herbs or oil that is also corresponds to them. Alright, so I've got that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some intention into this candle as well. So I'll bring you back after I'm done with that. Alright, so the next part I'm going to do is I'm going to light the candle. I've already put some intention to it. I'm going to light it, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to let some wax drip there. So once that starts, alright. And then I'm going to press it down and let it dry. The flame burns out and the material burns forever in the astral. And then I'm going to put it out. There we are. So as you can tell, now the candle isn't rolling everywhere. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my money rice and I'm going to circle the candle now. And see, this is going to go on my altar. You can place it wherever you want. So if you have an office in the home, put it in the office. Some great things to also do with the money rice is put it around the house. Now, if you're going to put it around the house and like say it's going to be outside, I would be very conscious. For me, at least for our animal friends, you know, because they may eat this and you don't want them eating that. So I would at least bury it around the property, if so that they can't get to it, or it's concealed enough so that, you know, our little animal friends can't get to it. But I'm making a circle of money rice around this. Go. And as you can tell, I went in a clockwise motion. I want to draw things to me. I've got the money now. I blow out the candle because I'm going to put this on my altar and I'm going to do some, you know, meditating, and then I'm going to light it. But you could have, when I actually sealed the wax onto the candle, you can also just, you know, leave it lit and then, you know, do the circle and then just leave it lit to burn all the way down. I am going to burn this over a course of days. For me, my magic seems to work really well that way. Other people could find that their magic works better with just letting it burn down for the night. Just make sure that you watch this. You don't want to have, you know, the element fire running rampant through your house. That's not going to be a good thing. But yes, but that's it. That's all you need to do. Now, with the money, I would always keep it nearby the candle. It reinforces what this spell's all about, and it also helps with your thought process that oh yes, that's right, that's what this is for, you know, and to help draw it even better. So I'm going to place this on my altar as well near the candle. All right, well, I appreciate you stopping by and sitting down with me for a little while. If you liked today's video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and like it, and don't forget to subscribe. That way you get notified of all the new content that I post weekly. Until then, stay earthy, stay magical, and don't forget, make the magic your own. Till then, bye for now.